Greetings, geeks. Welcome to episode 829 of Geeks in Space. I am Rob Commander Takamalda, and I am joined today by the one and only Rob Roseboom.
I am Rob Roseboom.
And Chris Demona.
Yeah, I'm just Chris. I don't know what y'all are doing here.
There's a lot of Chris's.
Exhortations.
Well, we have to make sure that we're not being deep faked.
That's
right?
true.
Did deep fake say that?
Hold a shoe above
and
your
also,
head.
if you're a deep fake, you have to tell me.
Right.
That's the law.
Right. It's the third deep fake, so they can't say that they really are a person.
That makes sense.
Right.
That makes sense.
If you're a cop, you have to tell us.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Now, I'm going to need you to hold your thumb and your forefinger apart and place it on your forehead in order for me to know that, forming like the letter L, and then put the, there you go. Now I know you're not a deep fake.
Even watching Kit Boga, I think.
He did that. God, that guy slays me.
I mean, how does he get them to do it? Also, they must know at some point that they're just being tooled with, you know.
Some of them figure it out. Not all of them. I guess when you're blind by the fact that you think that this little grandma for some reason has 12 Bitcoin in her account, you just can't help it. Well, the big story over the last few days is the XZ shell script attack. We were just talking about this before we started, and the short version of it. And I'm no expert. This is well outside my wheelhouse, but it's fascinating. The short story is a guy maintains a compression library for like a decade, burns out. Somebody else starts helping him, helps maintain and submitting patches. Then they kind of are working on it together for a while. And then the new guy is kind of running the show. The other guy's the first guy's taking a vacation. And then some weird patches go in. And those weird patches, now this library is used by like OpenSSH. And
kind of important.
Yeah, it's a big one. And ultimately, these made it all the way, I think, into Debian testing, at least into unstable, maybe into testing. And basically, it makes a shell script that you can connect to, and like it's anybody who installed testing for like a week or two there has this vulnerability installed, and like I linked 2 really good write-ups of it.
Here's Russ Cox's write-up. Russ is brilliant.
One of them is like a timeline that tells you like when things happen. It tells you how long. So the original maintainer maintained the code. How long? So was it Lassie, Colin? I don't know how to pronounce that one, but that's the original maintainer. And then GIS829 is the new one.
Yeah.
And you can sort of see the timeline. Like it started, like he maintained this thing for like starting, 10, 15 years ago. And then GIS829 started contributing a couple of years ago. And then over the course of the last few months, basically started merging in the backdoor code.
Yeah.
And I mean, you've seen the XKCD comic from years and years and years ago, where the entire web, the entire internet is like balanced on top of one little block, which is some guy's hobby. That is straight up what happened here. And this is a big deal.
It's a really big deal.
Really big deal. So in theory, anybody who is testing anything with OpenSSH is vulnerable. Who knows? You can revert back. I'm glad I don't have anything like that uses any Debian testing these days. That's for sure. But wow.
Yeah, I'm glad it didn't get past that. I mean, it seems like the Debian team, when they were made aware of the bug, they rolled a lot of stuff back. So I mean, they did the right thing. Oh gosh, this is a big deal. Red Hat announces that the backdoor XZ shipped in Fedora Rawhide and Fedora Linux.
Oh wow,
it's a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, it's terrifying. And
well, no, let's not go too far. But yeah, it's really interesting that GIS829 Yeah. Who's complicit in the end?
Well, and that's
have they
the
been
thing.
A state actor this whole time?
So GIS829's only been involved for a couple of years, and the other one, the Lassie Collin, has been maintaining it since like 2007 or 2009. A long-term project. I mean, we caught this one.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm conspiracy minded enough to believe that there's other ones in there. There have been. I believe that state actors have stuff in there already, and it's been there.
We know about
years.
state actors going back 20 years.
Yeah.
Trying to get code into the Linux kernel and the rest. So
I have to believe that somebody's got stuff in there.
And they've attacked the build infrastructure and the host infrastructure. I think it was 2006, 2005. The FBI basically picked up the kernel.org machines and we're like, oh, shit, Oops. So, yeah, that was really something. And that was a compromise through a private SSH key that was compromised. And so they entered into the build service and went to town.
Magnum's comment is the lesson here is never use libraries.
That sure, even public libraries, like, don't go there. It's just homeless people at computers now anyway. So yeah, don't. Library's bad.
All right.
I'm kidding, obviously. Who doesn't like a library? We got a great library here. Actually, really.
All right.
Really thrilled with it. So.
I don't know. This feels different. This feels big.
Yeah, it is big. Yeah.
Well. Let's see. We have the 2024 Hugo finalists.
Yes, that is true.
Are you on the list this year, Chris?
I haven't been writing any fiction, so the answer is no.
Oh man, how about you, Rob?
I somehow was left off the list again this year.
Somehow, yeah.
Speaking of Hugo,
there's a really unusual. So the last Hugos were in China, right?
We talked about
and so there's this. Yeah, so at the end of this, so what's nice about it is because the last one was in China, we're seeing more, Chinese language submissions. But then there's this thing at the end. Let's see now. There was the thing. The following, yeah, this is like you're like, this is a little eyebrow raising. The following nominees received enough votes to qualify for the final ballot, but were not eligible for specific reasons. Specific reasons, you say?
Is that the Neil Award?
Yeah, it just seems weird,
right? Speaking of Hugo stuff, though, have either of you guys read Three Body Problem?
I admit I have not. I haven't even watched the show. A friend of mine, she's Chinese, and immigrated to the United States a long time ago. So and she's like, the 10-cent version's great.
Don't spoil anything for me, because I'm actually, we watched the first episode last night, and I kind of want to, I know the show's getting really.
I understand it's actually very well done, but a lot of the folks who came out of the ABC community, American born Chinese and immigrated Chinese, they're like, why'd they move it to London? They're getting a little wrapped up in the set changes and the actor changes,
Adaptation, guys. They probably filmed it in Czechoslovakia or something. Who knows?
I wonder where they did film it.
Probably all in a big green screen warehouse in Vancouver at this point.
Yeah. Pinewood.
Yeah, no, I don't really know what the story is yet. I only saw the first episode, and I know that it's a weird one. We're kind of looking at it. Kat and I haven't seen anything about it, like what it is. So it's like, what is it? What is it? We're at that stage. That glowing piece, that glowing moment at the beginning of a new bit of sci-fi where you're like, maybe this one's gonna be good, and then you get 3 episodes in, and then you're like, nope. They're gonna pull a Lost.
Mm-hmm.
They're losting.
They're gonna lost it.
They're gonna lost it. All right, we've got one about Caltrain employees turning stations into homes.
Yeah, I just got a kick out of this. I thought Rob would like it. Different Rob, not you, Rob. The other Rob. Zen Rob. Did you check this out, man?
I did not.
Basically, a couple of Caltrain, employees decided to because there's a historic train station that you can't actually access as a human being, and so they basically put up some blinds and moved in.
Nice. This actually reminds me of downtown here. We have an old train station, a real historic one that you can rent out. I've thought
cool.
oftentimes about renting it out and just holding D&D games there.
Yeah, why not? That sounds awesome.
Yeah. Actually, there's a movie based on that train station. It won an Oscar. Whistle Stop. That's what it's called. That's supposed to take place in Grass Lake, Michigan. The train station in it is the train station in Grass Lake.
Did they film it there?
I would doubt it. And the story is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah.
Oh gosh. When beautiful Mary returns home to her Whistle Stop hometown, long-standing feelings of animosity between two of her old boyfriends leads to robbery and murder. Ava Gardner, Victor McLaughlin, George Raft. Oh, this is a classic, I bet. It's very something. I don't know.
One of the guys plays the rich hotelier in town, and I think, well, where is that hotel? I wonder.
Yeah, right? Ain't in Grass Lake, I can tell you that.
Grass Lake.
No. We finally have a pizza place.
Yeah.
You know?
Someday somebody's going to have a second story on one of them buildings.
1946. So this is like right at the end of... Yeah, I mean, they were probably filming just after or during the war. I wonder if they thought that this was going to be one of those war movies they sent off. Because Ava Gardner was very popular. You know, professional, attractive person. So...
we've got a story about the animal lover caring for a hat bobble. Oh, that's sad.
I love this story. I mean, so I don't think that particularly looks like a baby hedgehog, but you know,
there you go.
I can see where you would think that was a tribble.
Sure. Oh,
it's just funny that this lady sees this hat bobble, thinks it's a baby hedgehog, puts it in a box, gives it cat food, takes care of it, can't figure out why it's not eating or pooping, and brings it into a wildlife rehab to take care of. And the guy's like, yeah, I don't think there's much I can do for this. It's a hat bobble.
It's stuffed. Well, her heart was in the right place.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good for her.
I just thought it was very funny.
So this is a story about Western games companies are kind of shut out of Russia now, and the photo is actually a little deceptive because the photo is like a Cold War.
That's a Cold War
arcade toy, because obviously in the 60s and 70s they had a completely parallel video game industry, and this article is just sort of about how. Now with all the sanctions surrounding Ukraine, they are possibly going to have to go and do more of that. Have their own like I don't know, but like that. Can't you just get Steam there? I mean, I don't understand.
You can, but it's sketchy. Like for our game, we actually just for both China and Russia, basically countries that have big national firewalls and all kinds of complicated rules, we just can't negotiate it, and so we just set our Russian and Chinese prices artificially high because we're just like, we can't serve them, we just can't. We don't have servers in the country. Yeah. I'm not willing to kiss Putin ass. So what they're going to do, though, I can almost guarantee you what Russia's going to do. They're basically going to bring out some basically PC compatible thing, and they're just going to pirate a ton of games. And it's like, here you go. Russians can play every game that a Westerner can play. And they're not going to give any crap if they work well or
probably cheaper
at all. Yeah. So, yeah.
Turns out everything's cheaper if you don't have to pay for it.
Yeah. If you don't pay for it, it's cheap. Who knew?
So the other one that we have on the list is, guys, the Discord gravy train looks like it's at an end. Discord is apparently going to start showing ads.
Yep.
So
I wonder if you have to like nitro boost. Can you nitro boost past it so you don't see the ads? I don't know.
I assume they'll have something. But no, it's
Honestly, Discord could take over Twitch's whole business in about 5 seconds. You know, the problem is Twitch isn't very good at selling ads.
I don't know. That's a lot of bad. I don't know.
Honestly, you know, if Discord wants to chart, I mean, I get so much out of Discord and the rest. I'd pay a YouTube premium level subscription. You know, I get a lot out of it. You know,
I mean, isn't that kind of what they're doing with Nitro? They just
but Nitro
model.
I don't know.
I'm with you. I mean, Discord is convenient as heck. Heck, we have a couple different Discords with just different friend groups and things. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
I'm in. Let's see now. Just friend group Discords is 1, 2, 3, 4 of mine. And then there's some creators that I am in their Discord.
I have one just with my kids and my wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's way easier than just talking to them.
Well, I mean, you've met my family. You don't want to talk to them.
Yeah.
They don't want to talk to me.
I have 3 for Fractured Veil, you know, basically. And then
I have a whole bunch of them, like, because when you Patreon people, most of those you get a Discord with it. So I got a whole slew of Patreons, Discords, which I never check. And the first thing that I have to do is disable their notifications, because otherwise they're always like bling, bling, bling. It's like, no.
Well, yeah, I've got a
guy who I watch on YouTube twice a month. I don't care what you have to say, probably. I'll pop
well, yeah, I've got a folder for the, you know, and it's the entire folder's muted. That's where all the most of the creator ones, except for one.
It is weird. Discord is a really good example of like they have that Nitro and all of that. Like they're making it complicated. They're making it really hard, and I assume that somebody did some math and like, well, if you just charge people $10 a month, then the most money we can possibly make is X. But if we do it this way, then the most money that we can make is a much larger number. But the problem for my thinking is that like they made it so complicated that I just don't want to mess with it.
Yeah.
I've never done anything with Nitro. I don't even understand it. I don't want to deal with it. It's not like a subscription fee. It's not a monthly fee. It's complicated. It's confusing, and I don't care.
It is confusing, and it's hard to, like, as somebody who wants their server to be a little higher quality for, you know, audio and video wise, it's worth doing. But that's hard to articulate to just the members of a Discord, you know. So
media. Have we watched anything good lately?
No, I really want to go see Kong.
Me too.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. I want to see Ghostbusters, but I know it's going to be horrible.
Well, you know, it doesn't sound terrible. You know, it doesn't sound 2016 Ghostbusters bad. You know,
the last one wasn't awful.
Those member berries, right?
Funny bits. Yeah.
The last one was 2 movies glued together, and one was kind of good, and the other was just over the top and kind of lame. And I have a feeling that this is going to be kind of more of the same. The reviews are generally that there's just too much cast. Too many plot threads.
I think a lot of people forget just how bad Ghostbusters 2 was.
Oh,
to be honest with you,
yeah.
You know,
it was bad. It was
the original sequel was terrible too. It was just that first one was really good.
Yep. You got to get lucky.
I mean, it was crap.
I watched The Roadhouse, Chris.
Oh, really?
Recommendation. It's fun.
It is fun. You know,
dumb.
It's super dumb.
Not like the original Roadhouse, where I learned how to talk to people.
Pain don't hurt.
Pain don't hurt. Let's see. I watched The Quick and the Dead, which I hadn't watched in a long time. Really enjoyed. That's Sam Raimi directed, Sharon Stone starred.
Yeah, everyone was in there, like Leonardo DiCaprio,
Gene Hackman.
He was the bad guy. You know.
Yeah. And I watched Star Trek: First Contact and The Darjeeling Limited. I watched Crocodile Dundee.
What? Why?
And you know what? I had a great time watching Crocodile Dundee. Now, I also had a martini that was like it overflowed the glass, so I had to like slurp off the extra so before I
Yeah.
could refill it.
Right.
And after I drank that, I really enjoyed the original Crocodile Dundee.
I go deep and watch Young Einstein this weekend.
I watched Young Einstein a few months ago.
Oh, all right.
I know, and I watched UHF a few months ago. Like I was going through all of my like favorites of that little period there.
So can I tell you one of my favorite actors is in Crocodile Dundee, Reginald Vell Johnson.
Oh yeah,
So fucking great. I love that guy. He was in Ghostbusters too. He's been in everything.
yeah. No, he's
You know?
hard, man.
Die Hard, of course, but also like I think they named the school in Invincible Reginald Vell Johnson High School.
There's
Like-
like 3 new episodes of that, and I haven't watched them yet.
I gotta watch it. Yeah.
I'm really excited to that. You know what I watched last night and I really enjoyed is LA Story. I hadn't seen that in 20 years, 30 years.
Oh, that's probably pretty great.
It kind of holds up. It's really fun. But it's interesting because it's very much a stereotype of LA, but it's interesting to see the like it was made kind of like my stereotype of LA is probably the stereotype created in LA Story. LA Story,
Yeah.
you know, it hasn't probably changed all that much. I also started watching the Charlie Chaplin Modern Times because it's on the list
wow.
of like the AFI films, and I was like, I don't think I've ever seen that. And I got a half hour into it, and I'm like, I don't know that I can finish this. This is not like good. It's a Charlie Chaplin movie, and I guess I'm sure I saw one or two back in the day, but
Oh.
ugh.
I used to like watching the old black and white Harold Lloyd movies
Sure.
on PBS when I was a kid. But that was just the Three Stooges without talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was great though. I love that guy. He's really
Alright.
cool.
Oh, the other one I watched,
Safety last.
Spring Breakers.
Oh,
Oh.
that's not a great one.
Actually, like I had only seen it once before. I saw it in theaters, and I really enjoyed it this time because I kind of got what they were saying and what they were doing, and it wasn't just like the spectacle and the weirdness.
Mm-hmm.
It's there's something there, man. I'm not telling you it's a great movie or anything, but there's something there. Is there anything else we want to get off of our chests before we go on with our day?
I don't know.
That sounds like a big no. Goodbye, Rob Roseboom.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Krista Bona.
See ya.
That was episode 828 of Geeks in Space, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.